last episode, you saw us reintroduce actually, the long-standing 2013 Scion TC Ultimate Daily Driver project. I've now had this car nearly 10 years, and it's never let me down. It's long paid off, simple, and fun to drive. Let's see just how much we can push this unloved platform and how much refinement, performance, and fun we can get from this psychotic Scion. I regret writing and then reading that. We're going to spring into this project with, well, springs. Coilovers, to be more specific. Let's tackle the rear in this episode, then we can tackle the front later, assuming I don't let the car crush me in the process. Okay guys, well, here we are with the 2013 Scion TC. This car I've obviously had since before the channel even started, and it has been a pretty amazing car for me. I say that, but it's a pretty regular car, but it's been really great to me. Fantastic, just reliable product that has given me no trouble at all, except the time that I misrevved it and probably revved it to like 10,000 and misadjusted the rocker. So other than that, absolutely flawless. I love this thing. It's very fun to drive. Actually, it's still pretty engaging for a front wheel drive Toyota from a period when really the only thing they were making was the FRS, and that was kind of the first product in a long time that they kind of made a bit more spirited and more of an enthusiast car. So I kind of want to make this still the ultimate daily driver. That is what we've been pursuing in this series. So with that said, I have a lot of things here. So without any more waiting, let's go ahead and jump into this thing. I think we're going to go ahead and tackle the rear suspension first and knock out some of the items in that area. So I'm excited for work. God, maybe I've just been watching too much like Speed Academy up in Canada where everything's just terrible, or maybe it's the bad experience I just had with the Protege, how rusty it was. But props to this thing, man. It is very clean. It's got all the OEM clips. This is perks of being a second owner of a only 2-year-old car. It's got the nice TRD springs here, which hopefully is not a mistake getting rid of these. I really hope that the BCs ride well, because we're not going to be going that much lower, and these ride superb. But yeah, look at everything. It's just wonderful, relatively new Texas car. Most importantly, it's not a Protege. It's not all scabby. Right. Almost feels like a crime getting rid of these tires. Still quite a bit of tread, especially on the rear. But I can see the sidewalls starting to crack a little bit. But overall, these have held up really well. Some of our Avid 1 wheels, there's no bending or cracking or anything. Not that that's really anticipated even in a rep wheel in 2023, but yeah, finish this held up well on everything. I don't know the last time I cleaned this car, sadly. That was in there pretty good. Learned this the hard way. Let's take that e-brake off. Cute. Look at these cute little puppies. Let's put this back on here. We'll see a little hammer trick. I'll have to remember that orientation. Sits like this. Looks like an elephant. Okay, so we are going to throw, no, not literally, I didn't mean that. Put the wrench here on the side of the 17 mil. I'll just say, getting access to this rear bolt on this arm was one of the most painful jobs. The small ratchets and wrenches wouldn't get enough leverage, and I really couldn't get a breaker bar in there to save my life very well. I don't like this. I can't even see what I'm doing. There we go. Pretty good shape overall. Starting to crack a little bit, so you know, good thing that we're in here. But overall, probably could have continued on for a bit. Interesting arm. I guess I'm not doing that. So that ain't gonna reach. Ah, actually, I just used a regular wrench to do that, and that was not bad at all. Lots of rest in there. Just like a dog in the vet about to be neutered, this patient didn't want to let go of what it had. That certainly did the trick pretty easy. Didn't even damage it. Well, we managed to get those two rear arms here off, so I'm gonna call it for the night. Turning 30. I'm gonna be an old man tomorrow, so going out one last time with the boys. Probably never see them again, I presume. At least never do anything fun again, because we're all old. So, see you tomorrow. I didn't die of alcohol poisoning, so damn, David, we're at it again. Boyang. They're in good shape. From what I understand, these are just iBox springs that are sold as TRD springs. Did a really good job though. I hope I don't regret changing these. On the plus note, the fallen tree is gone. Had the neighbors come over and help move it. You probably didn't notice it earlier in the background, but a tree had fallen over from the neighbor's side and landed on the A-pillar, denting it in slightly. We're going to have to address that later with some body work. While we're back here though, we're also going to do the wheel bearings and brakes. There we go. Normally these just pop out, so I'm not quite sure how this one works. I'm going to have to figure it out. Looks like this rear trailing arm has bushings that are in pretty good shape, so we are all right there. Generally, it's not that difficult. Sometimes, though, these are a little stubborn and kind of rusted in place in there. It's actually fairly rusty considering the shape of this car and the fact that it's a Texas car. We'll clean that up. Probably not a ton of life left in this, seems like. Put these lug studs, though. This could be handy in the future. There we go. Baby cue the Home Depot rock, because this is how doers get more done. I got these coilovers used for $400, so let's clean them up. These coilovers previously served life to a car guy's garage who made custom TC parts but recently stopped. You guys may know of him, as I've got some of the parts in my car from his line. Now, being in Canada, they like to cover up all their stuff in oil because they salt the roads there. So this is pretty coated in grime and oil. So we're going to clean this up. Now personally, I think it would be blasphemous to not clean up the chassis and the body of the car while we're installing nice new parts. So let's clean this up too.
Okay, so we have our old springs here for the rear, and this is a divorced setup, meaning that the spring here is separate from that shock assembly instead of one combined unit. And so what we need to do is find the differential between this height and what we want. So I'm thinking probably 1/2 inch is what I want to drop. So we're going to drop this down to be a 1/2 inch shorter than this whole setup. I'm going to set this like this, make it a little easier, a little more stable. And then I'm going to flip these onto that same end. So this is right at 10 inches. So let's do 9.5 on this new setup here. 9 1/4. We need to go up slightly. So now we're going to take this and adjust that top one, move it up about 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. We'll mess with that bottom ring here in a moment, and we're going to keep doing this until we find that split difference we want. So now we're going to take this bottom ring, and this is what, oh, let me turn it back slightly. We're going to hold the bottom and then move that bottom ring up where it's twisting into the other one. And this is called the lock ring. So these two are actually going to be jammed up against each other, similar to if you've ever used jam nuts, to the jam nut procedure to, tighten a stud or something. Same concept, but that just locks them down in place. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's just hand tighten that together for a sec. And then let's match these two heights, make this easier. Anyways, what we're gonna do here, let's take this first one. And we are literally just going to tighten these together. They're a little weird to use. Okay, there we go. Good to go. These are all fancy and new. Oh, they're so clean. It's cool. It's got this like split design. Really nice finish on it. But what we're gonna do is we're just going to match this to the OEM length if it's not already. Make sure that that hole-to-hole distance is the same. We're just going to go ahead and rotate this outwards as if we are removing it. Also, it should be like this. Sorry. There we go. That is spot on there. So now that we have our length correct here, we're going to go ahead and take this jam nut. Once again, this works like those coilovers. This is just going to jam up against the body of the arm here and keep that from rotating anymore and thus moving or coming out of alignment. Cool. There we go. Same thing here. Lock this down. Lock it down like it's a good partner you just found. Hey, Shoddy, you want to lock it down like a SPC camber arm? Probably proceed to run after that, but if she stays, maybe reconsider, because that's a little weird. Essentially, we're going to do the exact same thing here that we just did with those camber arms. So let's pull these guys out here. It's nice. I've been sitting on these for like 2 years. Okay, not literally, guys. Get those perverted thoughts out of your mind. You're watching YouTube, not OnlyFans. Okay, there we go. This one's got 2 methods of adjustment here. It's kind of like a tie rod in the fact that you've got this adjustable ball joint arm here, and then you have the body of the of the bushing here. I can't even think. Just make sure the thread engagement on both sides is equal. So we just want to have the same number of threads on each side, on the top and the bottom here, and that is how we'll want to adjust these. So it's kind of an adjustment from both ends. All right, there we go. So everything should be good to throw back on the car now. So let's go ahead and move over there and install everything. Make sure you have that bottom spring perch there. It's kind of like a hard rubberized plastic. And then take your spring with the smaller opening, set it on top of that. And we are reusing the old spring hat rubber isolator. I'm going to put that back in place there. And then we are going to get the jack this in place. Alright, we're going to drop this cotter pin through. I'm not going to hammer it or fold it in place yet until we're confident that nothing has to come off and be adjusted at all. And with that done, let's go ahead and throw our strut in. Alright, let's make sure this boot is actually doing something here. It's tight sealed. Okay, we're going to make sure we have the lower part of our bushing in here. We're going to take that little castellated rubber area, meaning the one with kind of the teeth on it, push that downwards, and then up here, Alright, for whatever reason, the other side was perfectly fine and not rusted, but as you can see, this one had quite a bit of rust there, and this thing was seized in place. So luckily they make these drilled holes in the body itself of the shock mount, and so I was able to PB blast this and then take this over to the vise and put a screwdriver through the bottom here and twist this. Took quite a bit of force, but we got it. So what I'm going to do now though is clean up this rust here, and then we're going to definitely use anti-seize so this doesn't happen again. We're also going to clean out the inside of this too. Give this a nice coating of this wax. Okay guys, I figured out how we need to do the camber arm. I reread those directions and I was thinking backwards. So what we need to do actually is torque the ball joint portion of that, which we've already done, but we need to leave the camber bolt on the other end loose, and then when the car is on the ground, then we can go in and tighten that down. Not following that procedure will cause the ball joint to be stressed and be at an angle all the time, so we definitely don't want that. Okay guys, I think we are finally set here. I have got everything bolted back up and have loosened those camber bolts. So now all that's left to do is lower this thing and see if hopefully our measurements turn out right. I don't know, because you know, you got to know like the spring rates and oh, there's a term for it. I'll throw it up on screen here, but let's see what she looks like now that she's supposedly lowered a little bit more. Alright, what are we left with here? Oh, nice. Okay. Sweet. That looks pretty good. Can't pass the shoe test. Or no, it does pass the shoe test, because you can't fit it in there. Very nice. This one's a little higher for some reason. Not quite sure how we ended up with that, but it's gonna need to be remedied. Oh. Okay. Well guys, obviously there's some adjusting that needs to happen here, so stay tuned for the next episode in which we get the front suspension installed and the rear suspension sorted. We are just warming up. We have so much in store for this car. I just cannot wait for you guys to see it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Consider giving us a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the content, or leave us a comment down below and tell us what route you would have gone here with your suspension change. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Have a great week.